the session is not being recorded. So thank you, Joseph, for starting the demo. We're very excited to see your bot for Discord. And yeah, we can get started. I will mute and you can take it away.
Awesome. Well, sorry, everyone. My video is not working, but today we're going to take a look at creating a Discord bot using Python and Azure VM. So I'm sure many of you are aware of what Python is, and I'm sure many of you are aware of what Discord is. If you're not, Discord is a chatting platform where people get together, they chat a lot. And it helps when there are bots to make that experience a little bit better. And in order to get that bot on the interwebs, we're going to be using Azure VMs to do so. So the first thing is we're going to need a GitHub repo to place all our code. I posted the GitHub repo that I'm going to be using, plus an IDE to work on that code. As you can see, we're using Visual Studio Code, which is, in my opinion, the best IDE. I'm not biased at all. And if you take a look, I have a virtual environment, a git ignore, a config.py that is not going to, that I can't show you. If I did, you may take all of my resources, and a README with just my GitHub link on it for now. Secondly, we're going to need a Discord channel that we're an owner of. So I'm going to quickly show you. This is my Discord. I created a pipe cascade test. I can invite you to that if you'd like, but for the time being, if you join our Microsoft Discord, that'd be great. We have office hours and we can continue to have more conversations there. And we're going to be creating a bot. I already created one because I know that demos are flaky, things may not work, but I will be going through the bot creation process with you. Lastly, we're going to need an Azure account, with which you're going to create a virtual machine. You don't necessarily have to create a virtual machine because you can run this locally, as I'll show you, but we're going to just go ahead with this here. So in order to create a Discord channel, you just have to have an account. You have to scroll all the way down to this add a server, and by going through the templates, you will be able to create a server like the one you see here. Afterwards, you're going to go to the Discord developer applications. You're going to click on new application, give it a name, and then once you've given it a name, I've already created one called Pipe Cascade Bot. You're going to get to a screen like this. You're not seeing everything because it's not wide enough, but what you're going to do from here is go to click on Bot. You're going to click, actually OAuth 2, you're going to click on URL generator, and then once you click on this bot and give it administrator permissions, you're going to get a link that is generated with which you can go to, and it'll let you select the server where you want to add this bot. Once you select that server, it's going to be added just like it is here. And you're going to want to go and make sure that you have your bot's token. I'm not going to reveal that here for now, but once you have it, you can add it into your config.py, and that's all you need to get started. So right now, the Pi Cascade bot is down. There's nothing that's happening. That's okay. We're gonna fix this. So the first thing that we're going to need is a requirements.txt, which I'm going to add Discord to. Once I have that, I'm going to have another file called bot.py, and I'm going to import the package Discord. Oh no, Discord. So once I have that down, as you can see, I'm already in the virtual environment, .ben. If you are not sure of how to do it, you do pi-m env and folder name, and that'll create a virtual environment for you. And Visual Studio Code is good enough that it will be able to recognize that you're using a virtual environment and take the resources from there. So we're going to do a pip install our requirements. And once we do that, we'll see that Discord's already installed, but that's how you would do it. And now we can get started. So the first thing is we want to make sure that we have a Discord client object ready. And I'm also going to import config, because that's where I have my secrets. And I'm going to, from there, do client.run, right? Config and Discord bot token. And so this Discord bot token is what you saw earlier, and you can use that to connect to your Discord bot. At this point, if you were to run this, it would be running. It is, let's see, it is a bot that is running. You can see that now this has a green dot. It is online. Great, but it does nothing, which is useless to us. So let's cancel out of that and add a useful function to it. So in order to know that it's ready and whatnot, we're going to create an event handler, which is called onReady. Basically, it just means if it's ready, it'll tell you it's ready. So for now, I'm going to go through all of the guilds that I'm a part of, or rather all the guilds that this bot is a part of. And if guild ID is equal to the one that we have, oh no, come back. I'm going to end it there and print, let's see, what am I going to print? Let's say client.user is connected to guild ID name, which is the ID equals guild ID. I think that'll work. Okay, so this will print this out as soon as it's connected. And let's say I want to have a message that we want to look out for. So sometimes in these Discord channels, some people ask for help. Maybe some people ask, can I get resources on XYZ? So we're going to try looking for them. And you could also use this to see, okay, is somebody spamming the channels? Is somebody trying to give out a virus or something? We've had to do that in our server. So we have something called Onmessage that will take that message and parse it. So right now, I'm just going to say, if it's from the bot, we don't care. But if the message content is equal to, let's just say PyCascade for now, I'm going to have a response, and that's going to be equal to hello, everyone. Welcome and have a great time. And I'm going to give back that message by sending it over. And now if we were to take this and run the application, we should be able to see it working. So python.py. And as you can see, PyCascade is on and up. We should have seen something here, but we'll see. Let's see what happens. So PyCascade.
Joseph?
Yes.
I think there may be a typo. PyCascades on line 19.
Is there?
Maybe?
PyCascade.
Isn't it there's an S, PyCascades?
Oh, there might be.
No?
It's okay.
Okay.
Whether it's an S or not, it's okay. Because right now, what I'm hoping for is if I press enter, yay, the bot said, hello, everyone. Welcome and have a great time. So it's working, and we are able to see whether or not it's there or not. So that's great. But what if we want to do something a little bit more complicated? So let's say we wanted to actually do some processes or some data analysis for a user, right? And something that we could do is I actually have an Azure function that I created that tells me what type a Pokemon is, because there are so many new Pokemon in the new Pokemon games coming out that I just need to look them up. I don't know. So let's say this message content, or let's say for now, this is probably not the best way to do it because it's going to parse through every single message. But if we say Pokemon in message.content, and I'm going to say I have this URL already copied and pasted, so I'm just going to take this and say request is equal to request.get, and I'm going to take something that I'm going to copy paste here. Great. There we go. Okay, so now I have this function that I am just calling, and it's going to take this Pokemon, which is from the message content. So I'm going to say Pokemon is equal to message content dot split, and I'm going to take the first item because I'm going to assume that the input is going to look something like Pokemon Pikachu, and that should tell me what that Pokemon is. So now I'm going to do an await on message channel dot send request dot content, I think it was. So now if we were to stop this, run it again, we go back here, it's running, let's test it out. Great, PyCascade works. So if I do Pokemon Pikachu, it should tell me that if, there we go. It's an electric type. So if I were to do something like Pokemon Gyarados, if I spell it correctly, tell me water flying. Great. And you can do even more complicated things because on Discord, although it expects you to return something immediately, you can have it return a message saying, I'm working on it. And then once the function is done, it can come back with another message that replaces that previous message. So there are other things that you can do, like give roles, give take away roles, add in emojis, make sure that you're doing other important things like that. That will require you to have the message ID, to have the guilds, and etc. But now that that's done, we're going to see if we can add this into our VM. Before I continue, are there any questions? Anyone want to chime in? Hello, Chris C. Yes.
Chris, if you want to unmute, feel free to, or if you want to just drop something in the chat, completely up to you.
Yeah, feel free to.
Yeah, Brett. Can you create? There's a question here. Can you create multiple bots in a single server?
That I'm not too sure of. The only thing that I know is that with each of these, that you should. It would be difficult to do that. I think that what you want to make sure of is that you have all of the client messages working, and then you can have each of the guild IDs and the bot tokens associated with each other.
And Brett, if you want to unmute, feel free to.
Yeah, you could totally create a karma system to reward good behavior. There's definitely. Oh.
Sorry, not you, Brett Cannon. The other Brett who's here.
Yeah, Brett, feel free to leave your question or speak up. But if not, Phoebe, to answer your question, yeah, there's totally ways that we can create a karma system. You can make it so that each individual user ID is associated with a point system. And depending on how many points someone gets or points are taken away, people can be promoted. You can have different groups or roles that people are in and part of that they can continue to battle with one another to make sure that they have more things. I'm a part of a Pokemon Go group that they try and see who is on the blue team, red team, and yellow team, and try and see how many people are able to catch the most rare Pokemon, depending on what team you're on, and they get prizes based on that. I'm a part of a language Discord that deals with, okay, how many minutes or hours have you spent in a particular language doing or speaking in Spanish, Korean, German, etc. And they will take that information and also give you kind of updates and rewards and things like that. So it's totally possible to create a karma system. Cool. If there are no more questions, we're going to go into the creating of the VM. And so, oh, there it is. Is there a word bank of generally unacceptable words? Can the bot act upon? Yes, so you can totally do that. You can create your own word bank. So in this case, I can say like word bank equals, I'm not going to actually write words that I don't want to see here. Let's say cat, puppy, bunny, giraffe, poop. And I could say something like elif message.content, or maybe, yeah, message.content in word bank. This is probably not the best way to do it. So there are other ways, obviously, but you can say you can do like look at message.user. You can look at kicking or banning or deleting said message with that message ID and go from there. So right now, I'm just going to say await message.channel.send. Please don't use bad words. And if we were to run this and go to the Discord, let's say I typed funny. It says, please don't use bad word. So you can imagine all you would have to do is change this code here so that instead of sending a message, you could send a message, but also take a look at message.url or that user ID, message.id, and also erase it. And if you wanted to debug it and see what that might look like, we can actually do that here. And instead of running it this way, I'm going to run it as a debugger. I think it's right here, start debugging. File. I think that's working. Awesome. So now it's working, it's running. I'm going to type bunny again. And it stops here. And this is also a great example of how great the debugger is. As you can see, the word bank is here. We can see that the message has an author with member ID. We can see that it's within this channel with a channel ID. It's with this content, which is bunny. And with the guild ID, the jump URL, mentions, etc. There are so many things that are in this message content that you can use to do what you want. You can add reaction, you can remove reaction, etc. I think Scott, I'm going to mute you. I'm sorry. Cool. Awesome. All right. So now that I've answered that, I'm going to stop this. But let's say you don't want to run it locally. So now we're going to go to the VM and try and create one ourselves. So creating a VM is pretty quick. You're going to go to your Azure portal. You're going to click on virtual machines or search virtual machines. From here, you're going to click on create virtual machine. And once you're in this create panel, I'm not going to actually create one because it's going to take too long. So for the time being, I'm going to go through what a resource group is, which is all of the resources that you're using in conjunction with one another, whether they're databases, functions, app service, etc. They are grouped together so that they can kind of communicate with one another without having to deal with more expensive, in terms of time and efficiency, ways to do that. And then you're going to give yourself a name. You're going to click on the region. I would recommend one of the regions that has availability for these kinds of virtual machines. You don't have to worry too much about availability zones and whatnot, because this isn't something that's going to be really, really high end or really, really high redundancy, etc. We're going to go with an Ubuntu server, security type as secure as you want it. And the size, I found that the B1 is good enough. If you want something a little bit more intense, that's completely up to you. But after this case, you want to have a SSH public key or a password, and you want to be able to allow SSH, HTTPS, and HTTP so that Discord bots can talk out of it. At this point, you can review and create. You can also continue to customize. But I already have I already created a bot VM called Discord bot. And yeah, there's nothing really much to see here other than we have the public IP address and private IP address, but you can't get onto it without my password, so that's okay. So right now, I'm going to open up Putty, which will take me to my PyCascade Discord bot. So what I want to do actually first is, in order for me to actually get the information, I need to make sure that I have everything pushed up to it. So right now I have something changed. So I'm just going to do a git push. Oh, no, I can't do that. Add dot git commit. And adding Pokemon content, git push. And now that should work. So VS Code, I don't know if this is just my version or when I use the find replace, the option of only in selection, I have to keep clicking the icon for in selection rather than having it work based off my current slide selection. That's one feature from PyCharm that I enjoy having. That's an interesting feedback. I'm not too sure about that, so I will continue with this and let Luciano deal with it. Cool. So now that I'm in my virtual machine, you can see that right now I have nothing in here with PyCascade Discord bot. I'm going to do a git pull. Actually, I'm going to put in, I have to put in my git code and whatnot, so I'm going to do that off screen. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Yay. So once this is done, I can see that my bot is there. You have to make sure that Python 3 is installed, and because this is an environment where you don't really necessarily have to have a virtual environment because this is all you're going to be running, I'm going to do a pip install requirements. Nope, I messed up. No, stop, please. There we go. Install our requirements. And as you can see, everything is settled. And I'm going to do a Python 3 bot.py. Oh no, there's no config. I have to add config. Let's see. I'm going to do that off screen because I don't want everyone to see it. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm going to be opening up Nano because I haven't done that in a while. I think that did it. Okay, so now that I have that done, I am going to be bringing back my Windows and ls. I'm going to do Python 3 bot. And it should be working now. I don't know why it's not coming out with things, but it's working. I'm hoping it's working. So now let's say I want to use one of those really, really bad words and I type giraffe. There we go. So it's telling me I can't use that bad word. If I type PyCascade, it's telling me hello. And if I go to Pokemon and let's do a crazy one. Can't think of anything off the top of my head. Charizard. And hopefully it's going to tell me that it's fire and flying. Great. So that's how you would create a quick and easy Python Discord bot that works in your channels using Azure, Python, VS Code. And you can use the code to do anything you want. There's so many things that you can find on the internet about different things that you can do. And I really hope that this is helpful to somebody. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions.